Hey guys, how's it going? Just a quick first impression on a new CRKT. This is actually, I guess, only sort of new. This is a popular model already, the CEO from CRKT. This year they've offered it with a flipper. And so I've been kind of interested in this knife since the initial one came out, but I never did pull the trigger on it. So I thought I'd give it a try in this configuration. And yeah, it's kind of an interesting knife. Most of you guys know I am a preacher, so I could certainly see a time or place where I might have use of a knife like this. Just to give you an idea of sort of what they were aiming for here, let me flip this over and put in a pen beside it. So you could really see this, carrying, like in some of their advertising, they do put it in a breast pocket rather than a pant pocket, and you can definitely see it fitting that role pretty well. So it's kind of interesting from that perspective. Very thin blade stock here. I guess we'll just run into the specs here. So satin finish, HCR13 MOV, very thin blade stock here. And it kind of needs to be that thin because it's so thin in this dimension that you don't have much room to get a primary bevel in there. And they've added this swedge, kind of an interesting, katana inspired blade grind. And really the whole thing is very Quaken-ish, in terms of its overall looks. Moving through here, we've got a flipper tab, obviously bearing pivot, stainless steel liners, not nested or anything, GRN, and it's got sort of a hashed pattern on it. All right, hoping you can get a good look at that. There you go, reversible deep carry clip, and they've done a pretty nice job on this, quite easily able to be switched back and forth there. So overall, guys, I actually think they've done a decent job at hitting their target here. I guess I should give you a quick rundown on size and weight. 7 and 11/16 on the overall length, 3 and 3/8 blade, 4 and 5/16 handle. So that's the closed length like this. You saw how small that was compared to a pen. 3 and 7/8 inch grip area. So for a small knife, you've actually got quite a bit of real estate. Now, it's obviously not very hand filling. All right, this is not the knife I'm going to use to skin out my next deer or something like that. But in terms of what it's meant to do, perfectly adequate. And it weighs in at only 1.9 ounces. So again, they've done a nice job of keeping this very light, very minimal, very unobtrusive. My first impression on this knife is, as I was saying a minute ago before I got into the specs, they've done what they aimed to do, right? They were shooting at a very slim, minimal knife that wasn't noticeable, that not noticeable by you, not noticeable by others, and I think they've done a really nice job of that. Do I think this is the knife I'm going to, take on my next overnight camping excursion? No. All right, but is it a nice knife for certain settings where maybe you don't want your knife to be that noticeable? Or is it a nice knife to have as sort of a secondary carry? I definitely think this fits that role very, very well. And so, well, it's a budget steel and it's GRN. I'm not expecting much from this knife. And this is not a knife that I don't need a great steel here because I'm not planning to use this to do anything crazy. It's just one of those knives that you can carry in an office setting or in a setting where it needs to be very minimal, where you might have to open a package or do some light cutting, right? Anytime where I'm going to be doing more substantial work with my EDC folder, I would be carrying something else. So there you go, guys. That's my initial thought on the CRKT CEO. I will give this some time in my pocket, do some cutting with it, and see how it holds up for a few weeks or a month, and then I'll come back at you with a full review. Don't forget to check out White Mountain Knives. That's where this came from. And if Justin doesn't have what you're looking for, go ahead and check Southern Edge Knife Works as well. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.